Okay, here we are, week 5. Let's take a look at your assignments for this week. And so hopefully things are going well with your looking at your textbook and your video lessons, and those are helping you out. Make sure you're doing those every week and looking through those. Really think they're useful and have the information you need, so make sure you're not just skimming over those. And then Maple TA homework and your group assignment for the week, as well as exam 2. And so same kind of setup as far as your exam goes as your first one, just covering unit 2 this time, and so make sure that's what you're reviewing and studying, and you do have that review at Maple TA to help you out. So let's look at your lesson 9 group assignment. And so in this group assignment, you start off with several different scenarios where you're just identifying, is this situation constant, variable, or maybe we don't have enough information to decide. And so not too bad that first part. Then you get into a couple of different comparisons. First one dealing with savings, and so you have 2 different people, 2 different savings kinds of situations, and you're just comparing where they end up. And so using the future value function for this to help you determine how much money they end up with after further retirement. And then same kind of situation, only now dealing with loans. And so we have these 2 different student loans, and then just kind of comparing how much money they end up paying and owing on these 2 different types of loans. And so that's your group assignment for this lesson. Lesson 10, you have your group assignment and another case study, so let's look at both of those. And so your group assignment has 3 different situations here where you're working through this quantitative reasoning process, and you'll be using this data to make some scatter plots and then adding in trend lines. And so that's what, and then you'll be using that information to kind of make your decision for each of these. And so you start off with this baseball one, and then you have car sales where you're doing the same thing, and a couch. So notice on the couch, they don't actually give you the data for this one. This one you have to do a little research, and so going out there, and it suggests using a website like Craigslist maybe to find some information on a couch or some couches here that you can get this data, and it does. And then you'll be using that with your scatter plot and making your trend line from there. Your case study is directly related to that, doing the same kind of idea, only this time you have to pick your own scenario. And that may be the hardest part of it, is deciding on a scenario. I do have some suggestions as far as that goes. Try and pick some things that might actually be correlated. They might actually be connected to each other in some way. This will work out a lot better if they have some kind of connection when you go out and find your data and make your scatter plots. And so if you're having trouble coming up with a scenario, I suggest looking back over the examples found in your textbook or from your homework problems or even your group projects. Look at those different scenarios that you've worked with and maybe come up with something similar to those. And so if you're having trouble coming up with something, that's what I suggest for that. All right, that is it for this week. Make sure you keep posting those questions to the discussion board or send me an email if you need to, and I'm happy to help out.